My dear friend, let this be your faith. God does not turn aside from the sinner who dies while sinning. If that were the case, then a farmer that I know very well and who had a very strong faith, but who died in the midst of a howling purple curse word, that farmer would, for that single sin at that particular time, now be plowing in perdition. He isn't. I can tell you that as a fact, because that farmer was a man of faith, and despite that sin, is in heaven. Hearty too may be the faith of the suicide, despite some overwhelming weakness and defeat in this world. It is not the sin. It is faithlessness that damns us. And it is not some pristine righteousness, nor some acceptable mode of death that saves us, but faith is what saves us. And one's ending does not necessarily reveal the state of one's faith. Listen, friend, it is one's whole life that reveals faith. Take it whole. Remember whole the life of your beloved. One act at the end does not define an entire life. And this: faith never did spring from a sense of personal strength. Faith never came from private accomplishment, from high self-esteem, from confidence. Rather, it was out of abject weakness that faith in the God of strength came. Out of failure and need and self-doubt come faith in the God of strength. And dying is our sign of all these things. The suicide is different from other deaths in this, that he agreed and consciously participated in them all. O friend of a friend, the suicide may have offended the world by his show of impotence and his self-destruction, destroying you. And his self-destruction, destroying you, gives you every right to an anger most bloody furious. But before God, there was never a sharper cry of craving than this, not a more dramatic motive for faith. He who has cried, "I can't," might better than others hear the Almighty murmur, "But I can." Let your healing begin with that God who says to you now, "I can."